Hello, I'm Joe Lycett, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show.
Welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show.
Hello, welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I'm completely delighted to be joined today by comedian extraordinaire Joe Lycett. Joe, how are you today?
I am very well. How are you?
Pretty good, actually. Thank you very much for asking.
Good.
So, Joe, you are, of course, a phenomenal comedian, but how did you get into it? Did you always want to be a comedian? Where did you get your sort of first big break?
I like the word phenomenal.
It's a good word, isn't it?
It is a lovely word, because I mean, I'm presuming you mean it as a compliment, as in like you're a phenomena, as in unusually gifted at it, rather than like just phenomenal, as in like it's sort of like a car crash. You're like, oh my god, like you just can't take your eyes off it.
I mean, in the sense that you're in the upper echelons of comedicness. I've used all my good words already. It's a nightmare.
No, echelons is a good word as well.
Thank you. They're the only good words I have.
Great. I've sort of forgotten what the question was. How did I get into it? Yeah. How did I get into being a phenomenal comedian? I was in Manchester at Manchester University, and I was there doing drama and English with an idea to being an actor. Then I don't like being told what to do. And like when you're an actor, like all of it's being told what to do. One, from someone from the past who's written the script, having to do what like normally a dead person's told you to do. Yeah. Why should I listen to what Shakespeare's got to say? He's been dead for years. What does he know? And then the director
doesn't know about iPhones.
Well, there's no point in actually watching a show if it's not all about iPhones or on an iPhone. And I also didn't sort of found it a bit irritating having to sort of be under instruction.
So you were studying, and there was William Shakespeare, which you were not happy about. I
was absolutely livid with William Shakespeare, and so I decided that I would try stand-up because you're completely in control there, and I loved it. It's very addictive. Have you ever tried it?
I've stood up, but I haven't said funny things while I've been stood up. Yeah,
me too. Most of the time.
Which is why it's a blessing you're sat down at the moment, because...
Thank God for that. Imagine how tedious this would be if I was stood up.
You'd be out of shot for a start.
Yeah, it would just be my crotch. I mean, some people might... No, they wouldn't enjoy that. It's a perfectly fine crotch, but nothing to write home about. Not that anyone's writing home about their crotch. Dear mother, my crotch is fine. So that's why I did stand-up. We'll be back after these messages. Boop, 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 boop.
What do you find funny? Who are your favourite comedians and your comedic inspirations?
I love silly. Love really silly. I'm really, I always have been, but at the minute I'm really into Harry Hill at the minute, and like his show on Sky, the Tea Time show. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I'm sometimes up in time to see that. Kind of a night owl.
Yeah. It's so funny, and I recommend watching. There was one with Amelia Fox, which is just so brilliant. And he did one where he taught Paul Hollywood how to make a homemade Snickers, which is where you just get a Mars bar and cut it in half and then put peanuts in it and then close it back over and put a rubber band around it. It's so funny. So I love that kind of silly humour. And I've Harry, fortunately, I wrote a quote for my book.
Oh, you've got a book?
I've got a book.
Have you?
I wrote a book. So I've been emailing him, and he's very funny on email as well. Always like slightly off the wall. And I the last email that I wrote to him was, "Are you threatening me?" So you get an idea of the kind of correspondence we're having. Yes, I like silly. Who did I love when I started? I loved Alan Carr's early stuff and Russell Brand, and I had a real obsession, I would say, with Paul Foot's material, and Paul, like the comedian, just everything about him really. I just thought was fascinating, and sort of couldn't believe that it was there was a person behind that. And there isn't, well, there is. I mean, he is a person, but like he is exactly the person that he is on stage, like a just ludicrous person. So yeah, who else? I mean, there's loads. Love all of those, but then like of the current generation as well, like I think Catherine Ryan, I know you've had her on your show.
Episode 1, she's amazing.
She's so good. Like, just the quality of the thought that goes into what she does, and how just instinctively hilarious she is like, it's awe-inspiring. Same with Aisling B. I just did Galway Comedy Festival with her. And like, that was like watching her do stand up, which I hadn't seen her do stand up for a while. I was like, Jesus, this girl. So yeah, a lot of time for those two as well. But just loads of people. I just love Romesh. I think is brilliant. Rob Beckett's doing incredible work at the minute. Yeah, lots of good eggs.
Now, you mentioned a book earlier, which I happen to have with me here.
Oh, God, look at that. Isn't that a lovely...
Yeah, it's and the bag, of course.
So I just got snatchy there.
Yeah, I know.
Fine, it's got my name on it.
It has. But it's got my name's Parsnips Buttered, so it's kind of...
Oh, well, that's handy, isn't it? I'm more pleased with that one, though. Look at that as a little cover.
You should make that into like a little pin or something that you can...
I bloody have.
Have you?
Already. I've got one over there somewhere.
Have you?
So, yes, that's my book.
And what
available now.
It is.
Not this one.
No, I need that. So it is. And what is the book about?
That's me on the back of it. I could do the pic. I was thinner then. What is it about? I'll read you the full blurb. I don't even know where the blurb is. Hello. In this book, I have attempted to task. I can't even read. Can't even read my.
Did you write this?
No, it was ghostwritten for me by an actual ghost.
Wow.
In this book, I've attempted the task of solving each and every one of life's problems, and I have succeeded. That's all you need to know. It's a self-help book.
Is there anything about foxes in there?
Yeah, there is actually lots about foxes. Fox is a recurring character. It's now been named, after I wrote the book, the fox has now been named by my friend Aidan, Francine.
Oh.
The fox.
It's a very elaborate name, I like it.
Yeah, I call her Samantha Peterson in there, but that's, each to their own.
Changed.
She doesn't respond to either name. She just runs. So actually, she runs less and less now. She's got really cocky, really arrogant.
Oh.
Francine, fucking bitch.
And so, does the book explain the title of it at any point? Why is it called Parsnips Buttered?
It's called Parsnips Buttered because there's a phrase there's a phrase that is, hopefully doth butter no parsnips, which, actually the phrase is kind words doth butter no parsnips, and I changed it in the book. And I just loved it because it's like, it's old Victorian phrase, and it's just the flourish of language in it. It's sort of sarky, it gets the point across, and it sort of relates to the fact that, like, not buttering parsnips means nothing's getting done, but buttering parsnips, or parsnips buttered, they're done. This problem is solved. So that's where the idea came from. So
problems will be solved if you purchase this book, which is available from good retailers and digitally as well, is it?
It's available as an audio book. It's available on iDevices, my devices, your devices.
It's true.
Most devices. Probably not available on like certain devices, like you probably can't get it on like an electric whisk. That sort of device probably won't.
You could lean it on one though.
You could lean it on an electric whisk, or you could probably try and use it as a whisk, the hard copy.
Only the one. Well, both sides you could probably use once.
Yeah, and then it would be totally ruined.
But you could use it as some kind of serving platter, like they do in posh restaurants, where they serve food on a shovel. God, I hate those. Do you have them here? Do they? The worst thing is when they put chips in a separate thing to where your food is, and you have to manually relocate it.
Just put them next to the food.
It's an actual nightmare.
It is an actual nightmare. Trump's just been voted in, but this is the big issue.
It is the big issue, and but the big issue is £1.
The big issue is £1.
Yeah.
This is not. This is. I mean, it says here.
How heavy is it?
$17.99.
That's very heavy.
But you can get it on Amazon for like £9, or if you wait a couple of months, they'll be giving them out free.
So you have your first DVD coming out on the 21st of November, also available digitally now on iTunes, might I add.
Yes.
It's got the best name in the world. What is the name of the DVD?
That's the way Joe Lycett.
And
The Lasso has. It's not.
did you? Is that not? Would it not fit?
No, we were lucky to get the first bit to fit, to be honest. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called That's the Way Joe Lycett Live, because they were worried that if they didn't have the live there, that people might think I was dead. Maybe I was doing it as a corpse. So they emphasised the live.
It's because of the ghostwriting.
Oh, yes, I suppose
It
that
could be
makes
that.
sense.
And what can people expect from this DVD? What are you talking about?
I will be talking about. I mean, I won't be doing it. I have done it. It was filmed months ago. So
It's not literally like, it's more Joe Lycett pre-recorded.
yeah, it's not even live. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's not live.
Why do they call it that?
Because they're fucking idiots.
Because sometimes otherwise you just wouldn't be there, would you? You'd be off doing other things.
Yeah, well, most of the time I am.
Yeah.
Well, most of the time I'm in the bath. So if they cut to me, Joe Lycett live at any point, 90% chance it's just me with a rubber ducky bouncing around.
We're in a bath now. You can't see it, but this is a giant. It's luxurious.
A Roman bath.
Yep. It doesn't keep still.
No. A saltwater bath. Yes. I forgot what the question was. What were we talking about? The DVD.
Yeah, DVD. Yeah.
Yeah, it's out in a bit.
Yeah. Depends when I release this, really.
Yes, it might be out now. Good chance it's out now. It's ever so funny. I talk about Birmingham a lot in it, and slag off.
And you're from there. Do you still live there now?
Yeah, I'm buying a house there.
Are you?
An actual house that I will live in. Really excited
Fantastic.
about that, because I live with my parents at the minute, and God love them, but looking forward to having more than just my childhood bedroom to put things in. I've got now napkins, chopping board, about 4 framed pictures that are just like next to each other, and what's the other thing? Oh, and an iron that's on its way, which is all in my bedroom because there's nowhere to put it. So I'm looking forward to having somewhere to put it.
That's good. So
The iron's going to have its own room.
Wow.
Just like that's all that'll be in the room.
Fantastic.
That's kind of a good idea, actually. Is
Yeah,
it just
good
having
idea.
like an art gallery room for people to come in and go, well, that's some modern art there. It's an iron. That's a metaphor for Trump's reign.
Which would be acidic, I imagine, his reign.
God, yeah. Cut through like a knife through warm jizz.
Exactly.
Next question.
One moment. Which brings me to warm jizz. Nice segue.
jizz.
Warm jizz. So you have.
Did I say warm jizz or hot jizz? Warm jizz. Hot jizz would be too much. Hot. Well, I mean, what point does jizz become hot? Do you think? Sort of like 80 degrees C?
I don't know.
Lukewarm would be from a gentleman called Luke.
How warm is Luke, though?
Luke's roasting hot, actually. Well, he's got allergies, and so he
It's that time of year, though.
that time of year
It is.
really struggles with it. Poor Luke.
So you've it's true. It's all true.
Before this, I thought this would be a peculiar, because I feel in a peculiar mood, and I think that's become quite apparent.
It's the best way.
Yeah.
So you've been on a large number of TV shows, 8 out of 10 Cats, Would I Lie to You, live at the Hammersmith Apollo programme, which I love. You've also you've supported David Brent, who's a fictional character. So I don't know how you did that, and all those kind of things. But what's been the highlight of your career so far? Oh, and also being on the Sarah O'Connell show, of course.
Yes, being on the Sarah O'Connell show is the pinnacle of my career. And I might quit now.
What is there left to do?
Nothing really. Get out of this bath. What's my favorite? This is the thing. Like, I was just thrilled to be making any money from it. Like 50 quid to go to Liverpool or whatever. I was really chuffed with that. So it's got a bit silly now. Like, I'm a bit like the books. A little like, how did all this happen? Like, I'm sort of I'm baffled by it. Well, obviously delighted. But I think the moment where I was like, wow, bloody hell, I've done all right, was when I first did Live at the Apollo. That was like such a magical evening, and had a lovely gig. Everyone, like loads of friends and family were there. It was just lovely. It was a really nice, a lovely evening. It's all been downhill since then, really. Hit the drugs hard, doing a lot of heroin. Too much heroin, which is a thing.
Oh, is there too much heroin?
Well, it's an overdose. Every day I'm overdosing on heroin. It's amazing my skin's this good, isn't it, really? But then, the heroin's sort of taking me down, and then the Sarah O'Connell show's taking me sky high.
Exactly.
Till I smack up. I'm enjoying this, having a nice time. It smells nice.
Incidentally, so it lists all the things you've been in, but doesn't list the Sarah O'Connell show, of course, because you hadn't...
No, I can write that in there. Give
if
me
you
a pen.
Pen. I do have a pen over there, we'll do that.
I'll do that.
But are you going to recall the book and put it in there and then put it back out there with the Sarah O'Connell show in it?
Yes, actually.
Good.
I'll get my phone and I'll call the publishers immediately after
Thank
the
you.
recording.
Now, you've got a spirit animal. What is your spirit animal?
Walrus. There he is. Can you see him? YouTube? That's it. Some people think it looks a bit like a fly. But yeah, it's all
Some kind of silver fly.
a silver fly. Yeah, that's from a routine that I did on Live at the Apollo. First time I did Live at the Apollo, about how there was a spirit healer who thought my spirit animal was a walrus, which is what's known to a lot of people as a crock of shit.
Oh.
However,
You've embraced it.
I've got into reading tarot. I didn't bring my tarot cards. I found these tarot cards in a shop in Birmingham, which are gay tarot cards, and they're just like.
There's like two of the same card.
No, that's a nice idea. Though.
Thank you.
No, it's just they're just normal tarot cards, but with pictures of twinks on them. So, like, there's the Hanged Man is a classic tarot card, and it's just got someone who looks like Tom Daly on it.
So a well-hung man instead.
A well-hung man. What do you know about Tom Daly that I don't?
Nothing. We're just assuming.
You don't. No further questions. Yes, so it's just gay tarot. So I've been getting into that, and I think it's quite good fun.
Blimey. So you can actually do. You can predict the future with these cards.
Yes, can predict the future. I wish I'd got them because I would have done a reading for you.
That would have been incredible.
Your gay future.
Oh my
God!
God.
Tell you your straight future, just your gay one.
That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
Sounds like more fun. It's going to involve Eurovision or something.
Yes, some Eurovision and I don't know, some sort of hot jizz.
It's everywhere. Blimey.
Everywhere.
What is in this bath? I don't.
Let's not ask any more questions on that one.
Because I didn't fill it up with water.
No,
so it's.
not me.
I know. So at Halloween, who did you go as?
That's my impression of
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton. Yeah. That was the noise she made when she lost.
What noise did you make when she lost?
Fuck.
Or were you asleep?
No, I was awake. I kept going in and out of sort of light sleep and having big, nightmares, horrible nightmares. Yes, I dressed as Hillary Clinton because I thought it'd be a laugh, because I thought loads of people go as Trump, and they did, and nobody else went as Hillary, so that worked. But it's
so
less...
The light counteracting the darkness that they were bringing.
Yes. Yeah. Less funny now she's not won and we've got President Trump. We got President Trump, yeah. Yeah, good.
Lots of material for comedians, though, I guess.
Yeah,
is it only positive?
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. The issue with that is that he's so beyond parody. Yeah. Like the morning when I woke up, I was like, actually, this sort of isn't funny. It's just really bad. Yeah. But I don't know. I am doing what I've been told to by Barack Obama. Oh. Barack Obama, and I've decided I'm going to give him a chance, because what else have I got to do?
Kind of have to, yeah.
I mean, I'm not. If I don't give him a chance, it doesn't matter either way. Yeah. So within myself, I go, all right, let's see what he does. Let's hope that he was just lying.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like expect the worst but hope for the best kind of thing.
Yeah, is he an avid watcher of the Sarah O'Connell show?
He will. I'm sure he'll be clamouring to get on it now.
Donald, be kinder. That's all you have to do. Just think for another second before you make decisions or say things.
Well, think for 10 years before you say things.
Yes, please. You seem like probably quite good company. Piers Morgan likes you, and he's not all bad. He's not all good either.
He's sometimes asleep.
Yeah, sometimes he's just neutral.
Exactly. So, can you tell me a bit about your writing process for comedy? Do you just have a notepad and sort of capture things that happen in your life, or do you sit down at a desk and do things? What's your process?
I generally will actually do it with rings. So I normally have another ring on there, but I've lost it. I don't know where it is, and I'm worried about it. My granddad gave me didn't give it. I got it inherited after he perished. I will move a ring if I remember, like if somebody says kind of registers, and I go, oh, that's a funny turn of phrase, or like, oh, actually that's something that annoys me, or something like that. Yeah. I'll get the ring and I'll just put it on an unusual finger to me. So like I'll go, oh right, so that's just a little trigger, and then when I've next got a second and I'm on my phone, I'll just jot it down in an online notebook thing and just say, I don't know, whatever. Then I'm accruing ideas like that all the time, probably on average, I don't know, 3 or 4 a day. And it can be as just silly as like write about bananas, something. Yeah. And then I'll sit down in my office in Birmingham and I will just write for as long as I can on those ideas. And often they don't actually, the original ideas themselves don't really create anything, but it's the offshoots that are the funny things.
Sure. And have you got any advice for people that want to become comedians or just starting out?
Do it. Lots of people sort of thankfully get so terrified by the idea that they don't even try it. I think if more people got over that, then more people would obviously do it, because it's so fun and so addictive once you get going. But luckily for us, like the fear of doing that first gig is so much that most people aren't mad enough to do it. I was mad and continue to be mad enough to do it, and but I just think it's wonderful. And like the idea of I was talking to comedian John Robbins the other day, and we were talking about how like sometimes when you're on the road and stuff, you're like, oh god, I just got to get in the car again and drive somewhere. But then when you think, imagine just saying, all right, I'm never going to do a gig again. You go, no, put me on stage now. Like you still really want to do it. So like when it's taken away from you, you really want it. So yeah, it's not something I could ever imagine not doing. It's like a form of therapy. It's so good for the ego, both in like boosting it, because when you have a nice one you feel really good about yourself, but then everybody has bad ones and you come on stage and you go, god, everyone there thought, oh shit, and that's wonderful in itself, because it's humbling and neutralizing, grounds you. And then you start the old heroin again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've never taken heroin.
No, you've kept it where it is.
I've kept it right there in that vein.
So tell the viewers at home how on earth you ended up.
I'm going to do it like a screensaver. It goes ding, ding.
I love those, and you can get 3D ding. Text that rotate as well.
Ding, 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 ding. Sorry.
I need to waggle the mouse.
Waggle the mouse and it'll go, yeah.
So tell the audience how you came to be on this Sarah O'Connell show. How did we meet up? It was destiny, obviously. The universe wanted it to happen.
Yes. Well, I told you what the idea is, but I'm not going to tell your wonderful audience at home because I haven't quite worked it out yet.
Okay.
But basically, I put a telephone number on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and just said, give me a ring.
Yep.
And lots of people rang me. You were one of them.
I was.
And you said I'd host this show, and I had Catherine Ryan on, and I was like, who? And you said I'd be interested in booking you for the programme. And I said, what's the money? And you said it was 3 million. And that's right, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not worth anything now, but it's 3 million still, yeah?
Yeah, 3 million, yeah. And is that cash?
It is.
Great.
It's got Monopoly written on it, but it's fine.
Oh yeah, love. I mean, all taste the same. Yes, so I watched the Catherine one, and it was wonderful.
Thank you.
And so I decided I would come on the programme.
So what?
Ding! I can't get it that. Ding! 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 And just that's made me happier than it should have.
It's a wonderful thing.
It is, yeah.
So can you tell us what you're working on next? Are you writing another book? Are you planning another show? What is next for Joe Lycett?
I'm doing the new series of Taskmaster, which is taking up quite a lot of my time at the minute.
Literally my favourite show.
Oh my god, I'm having so much fun doing it. I can't tell you anything that's happened on it, but it's really funny and really, I've done some silly things already, and I've only done a couple of days on it. So that's taking up a fair bit of my time. There's a new show that I filmed already, but that's coming out in January, I think. We haven't got an exact date for it yet, but it's called The Big Spell, and it's a spelling bee show that I co-host with Sue Perkins.
Sounds like fun.
Really fun. Like, quite dramatic. Like, as the series goes on, it gets quite full on. So that starts. But in terms of like what I'll be like working on, I'm going to be writing lots of stand-up, doing lots of work in progress shows, lots of little rooms, doing an hour of just things that have come to me, and just see what I can get out of it, with the idea of doing a tour sometime in the future, but not for a while, but in the future. Lots of writing though. Oh God, so long. It takes ages to write a joke.
I suppose it's different in the way that a musician can have a song and then replay it for 30 years, whereas you kind of, every show you go on, you sort of need new material, don't you?
God, I hate it. Just wish somebody would do it all for me and just turn up and just go, hilarious joke. But I have to write the bloody thing. No one writes it for me. It's so annoying. Apart from the ghost that wrote this.
The ghost of Joe Lycett.
Yeah.
It's a good idea for a book.
Yeah, my book written by a ghostwriter who is me. That's a good idea. Right. So how would I do that? I'd have a telephone conversation with myself about myself, and then based on that phone conversation, write a book.
It's a good idea.
I'm into it.
I'd read that.
Yeah. So would I. I'd write it. I'd have to.
You'd have to, yeah.
Or, that would be a funny idea, doing an autobiography. It's been ghost written by an actual ghost, and then you open it, it's just blank pages. Like dust. It's just full of dust. That's really funny. Yeah, we've come up with an idea there.
It's a good idea. Yeah, I like that.
Boo boo.
That was a sad one.
We're back.
Welcome back to the Sarah O'Connell Show. So finally...
We weren't even away. We've been here all along. Where have you been? We've been waiting for you. It's nice to see you again.
It sure is. So if people want to follow you online, where should they go?
HTTP semicolon or full colon?
Yeah, it's like the 2 dots.
The 2.1. It's semicolon, that one, isn't it? The 2.1. HTTP semicolon / www.joelycett.com /
Oh.
or http semicolon / www.twitter.com / joelycett, or http semicolon / www.instagram.com / joelycett, or http semicolon / www.facebook.com / joelycett.
I can imagine people furiously writing these down.
Yes, get a pen. Sorry, should have said that. I'll read them again. No, I'm not going to read it again.
Oh.
Silly. You should have listened.
Do it one more time, I'll press record.
Oh, fuck. No, it's YouTube, isn't it? You just are we reversed on so it will be about, I imagine the slider is about there now, isn't it? So if you just slide it back there, then it will play from where I was reading the URLs. So if you just grab that, it's like a thing there, just pull it with the mouse, or if you're on like a touchscreen device, just use your finger or any sort of pointy, use the tip of your knob if you want, and then just pull it back, and then it will just do it. That's all you have to. Stop watching now. Pull back. Do it, for fuck's sake.
How many times? Because I'll get to this bit and I have to go back again.
Oh yeah. Well, so you're just in an infinite loop now, aren't you? You fools. Now grab it And just go to the end, because this next bit's shit.
Exactly. So thank you very much.
Boop, 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 boop. Oh, let's see if we can put some spin on it. Boop, 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 boop.
It's majestic in the way it moves.
I'm a grown man. Not really.
Quite tall.
I'm quite tall. 6'2".
Thank you so much.
So I just wanted to do a silly face.
That's helping, actually. Actually. I respond better. Why didn't you do that the whole time?
I know, I should have.
I know.
Sorry, I let you down.
So thank you so much for coming on the Sarah O'Connell show. It's been an absolute pleasure.
It has been a great pleasure for me as well. I think it's now time for me to end my career in a fireball.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye, YouTube.
Hi, we're still recording. It's now tomorrow. We've missed everything. It's next Christmas.
Oh no. I haven't done my shopping.